Yo, what's good, kings and queens? It's your boy Dawn, and I'm back for another reaction video today. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit all so you know every time I post, you heard. If you're not new to the channel, go down below, hit that like button, put your social medias. You already know if you get pinned, you win, you heard. If y'all don't know, obviously y'all should know, as based on the title and thumbnail, we're going to be reacting to the 10 rumors that caused mass panic. I'm trying to think of, I think it was like 2012, if I'm not mistaken. They said the world was going in, everybody was going crazy. I don't know if everybody was going crazy, but I know everybody was talking about it. I don't know how they was reacting. Me, I was chilling, because I'm like, yo, you got to do what you got to do. But I think at that time was probably the one time, of course, probably COVID-19, people was panicking. Anytime really any kind of like pandemic happened, something like that, people panic. I think it's going to be in this video. I honestly don't know, but honestly, if you think you know what's going to be in the video, put it down in the comments down below. Other than that, let's get into the video. Let's see what they talk about you, alright? Oh, fake news. Fake, nah, it is
10 rumors that caused mass panic. Number 10.
You have an alarming number of
Please go down below, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. It's all free. That's how we get rid of these intermissions, you heard. Thank y'all for popping out to the video. Let's get back. Let's see what they talking about.
Legals in.
10. Chinese banana SARS. In China in 2007, a text message rumor began circulating around the country. The claim is that bananas give you SARS. At the time, the world was in the middle of global paranoia in regards to the disease, which had been advertised as 21st century plague. How little we knew back then, hey? Anyway, the banana industry crumbled under the rumour and sales of bananas dropped by 90%. This lost the industry $2.6 million a day and producers of the fruit went bankrupt. How can one rumour cause the collapse of an entire industry? We can hypothesise the effectiveness of the rumour may have been due to the Chinese government's control over the media. In fact, to get around propaganda in China, text messaging was relied upon as a form of news communication. Still, it's been 13 years and some people easily believe everything they find online without double-checking the sources and with no censorship involved. So in this case at least, it's not really fair to blame it all on the Chinese government. But still, it shows how just one rumour can cause absolute devastation. Number 9. 1935 Harlem Riots. In 1935, getting the truth out of a news story wasn't as easy as today, when luckily we have the chance to record everything live in the moment. So the event that triggered the 1935 Harlem Riots grew exponentially by word of mouth, ending up as a rumour that was whispered across New York. So on March the 9th, 1935, Lino Rivera, a black Puerto Rican boy, was caught stealing a penknife from a store at 256 West 125th Street. The owner called the police, but by the time the officers arrived, a crowd had gathered outside. The storekeeper, afraid of what the crowd might do if the boy was arrested, asked the police to let him go. The officers agreed and the boy left via the back door. However, no one told the crowd what had happened. They basically saw the boy get inside the store and never get out again. So soon, rumours spread that the police had killed Rivera, which led to violent demonstrations and Harlem's first race riot. 3 people were killed, hundreds wounded, and $2 million worth of property damage was caused. Number 8. The Mayan Apocalypse. Remember when the world's biggest debate was when it was going to end or not? It was 2012 and quite a few people truly believed the world would have ended on December the 21st. Now it's 2020 and we're all, well, I wish we could say safe and sound. Let's just say we're here reminiscing and aren't all dead, because the Mayan apocalypse at least was never accomplished. Just to refresh your memory, over 1,000 years ago, the Mayan civilization created a complex calendar. The calendar was calculated up to December 21st, 2012. That's why many people chose to interpret the end of the Mayan calendar as a definite sign of the apocalypse. Brushing over the question of how the Mayans would know about such an apocalypse, panic spread worldwide as the date grew closer, and I mean real panic. In Michigan, for example, schools closed 2 days earlier over fears of panic-induced violence, while in China, religious groups spread panic to anyone who would listen, resulting in government crackdowns and 400 arrests. And that's not to mention mass migration to Bugarak, the French village that some believe could survive the apocalypse. Number 7. Congo Witch Player. It's Congo in 2008. At the Butembo Stadium, the Nyuki System Soccer Club was losing to rival Sokozaki. At half-time, as reported by Radio Alapi, Nyuki's goalkeeper ran up the pitch chanting spells in an attempt to change the course of the match. What happened next was pure chaos. Eyewitnesses said Sakazaki players caught him and started beating him. His teammates intervened and a fight broke out between the two sides. This was because of a rumour that this specific goalkeeper was a witch. This led to a stampede of people as they tried to flee the stadium. A police commander intervened to try and stop the scuffles, but was struck in the head by a projectile thrown from the stands. In the aftermath, it was discovered that 13 people had been killed, all thanks to a rumour about the keeper. Number 6. Sri Lankan Grease Devils.
That's crazy.
In the summer of 2011, one night, Tuan Muhammad Saleh Nona Faris heard a rustling outside her house and saw a shadow that resembled a gorilla, completely covered in black from top to toe. She claimed the intruder was one of Sri Lanka's notorious Grease Devils. You see, during that summer, many in the country had been gripped by a fear of nocturnal prowlers who had supposedly frequented rural areas, assaulting people at night. The media dubbed them Grease Devils, an old caricature referring to malevolent men who smear themselves in grease to avoid being caught. Although the rumours had absolutely no basis, vigilante lynch mobs started patrolling the countryside, leading to hundreds of arrests and the government deploying tanks. There were 30 incidents of violence and 5 known deaths as a consequence, including of a police officer. Number 5. The Irish Fright. Here's something slightly different, a perfect example of how rumours have always been used to damage opponents throughout history. The Irish Fright took place in England in 1688 during the so-called Glorious Revolution. The troops of the Jacobite Irish army were stationed in England in support of James II's authority. However, the same troops were widely despised by the predominantly Protestant population of England. According to accounts from the time, it was on this basis that at least 19 counties fell to the Irish Fright, a mass panic fueled by circulating rumours that depicted the Irishmen as bloodthirsty people. So, false reports of the Irish burning English towns and massacring inhabitants spread the panic pretty rapidly. Consequently, scared inhabitants formed armed militias to guard against the supposed Irish marauders. It was never determined who was responsible for sparking the rumours, though contemporaries suspected it might have been the work of William of Orange supporters to discredit James II. Number 4. Steve Jobs' Heartache. The CNN iReport website allows members of the public to post stories and comments underneath the website's header, which states that all stories submitted are not fact-checked or edited. In 2008, a post appeared on the site claiming that the then CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, had suffered a heart attack and was in hospital. Fear spread, not only between the fans of the American giant, but throughout the stock market too. In fact, within 10 minutes of the rumour being posted, Apple's stock fell 10%. This 10% represents $4.8 billion, a huge loss. Wall Street's reaction to the news seemed a bit excessive. After all, why would Jobs' hospitalisation affect Apple's ability to operate? The stock market appeared even hastier when it was revealed the news was just a rumour. The market loss was mostly recouped that day, although trading closed 3% lower than normal for Apple stocks. Number 3. The Great Clown Panic. As surreal as it may seem, a general clown panic hit a few countries, mostly the US and UK, in 2016. What caused it? In the summer of 2016, a local Wisconsin news report was transmitted stating that a Green Bay clown began frightening passers-by by standing on a street corner holding balloons. Creepy for sure, but not exactly a criminal offence of any kind. Besides, the clown turned out to be a viral marketing stunt for a low-budget horror movie. Still, the brilliant marketing campaign caused a viral mass panic. People tied up the 911 lines to report sightings of the creepy clown all over the states. The incident seemed to have sparked a wave of coulrophobia, that's a fear of clowns. In fact, the Green Bay clown sightings were only a tiny number of cases reported across the US in which an actual human being dressed up as a clown did frightening things. However, other reported clown sightings were more accurately clown hoaxes. Oddly enough though, the same thing happened overseas. Just a few months later, in the United Kingdom, the Newcastle police received reports of a creepy clown leaping out of bushes to scare children. After a few days, a teenager was arrested in possession of a bladed article. At that point, the local tabloids announced the terrifying clown craze had hit the country, instilling fear across the country. Number 2. Toilet paper battle. Let's not forget about the mass hysteria that occurred with the outbreak of COVID-19. People went from underestimating the problem to completely clearing out toilet paper shelves. There's a whole psychological phenomenon behind it, and of course many factors were involved. But what do rumours have to do with it? Well, actually a lot. Take for example Japan, one of the first countries reached by COVID-19. In the early days of the pandemic, rumours that toilet tissue paper supplies were running low, as China would no longer export them, spread through social media. Consequently, citizens stormed supermarkets. To stop people panic buying, local officials and industry associations had to make statements reminding people that almost all toilet tissue paper was locally manufactured and there were plenty of supplies. Funnily enough though, the same thing happened in Hong Kong, and it happened worldwide too. Didn't we all witness something similar just a few weeks or months later? And did we completely run out of toilet paper? Even if we found ourselves wandering across empty supermarket shelves, no we didn't. The shortage of supplies was all caused by the same panic buyers who raced to stock up in the first place. Number 1. The Y2K bug. Y2K, or the Millennium Bug, was a supposed computer flaw that was apparently going to cause huge problems in computers that couldn't deal with any date beyond December 31st, 1999. Until the 1990s, many computer programs were designed to abbreviate 4-digit years, so these companies could recognize 98 as in 1998, but would be unable to recognize 00 as 2000, perhaps interpreting it to mean 1900. Therefore, many feared that when the world reached January 1st of 2000, most computers would be using an incorrect date, which doesn't seem like a massive tragedy, but some postulated in that case that computers could fail to operate properly unless the software was repaired or replaced before that date. And there came the worldwide panic, fearing the potential effects of the Y2K bug, and what it would have on financial systems, air traffic controls, hospital machines, and anything else that was run through a computer. The rumour became a concern around the globe, with companies spending a collective $300 to $600 billion on safeguarding against the non-existent bug. When the calendar turned to the year 2000, the crisis failed to materialise. So those were 10 rumours that caused mass panic. Have you heard of any of these before?
Let me know. This video, let me know down in the comments what was your favorite part. Would y'all panic in these situations? Did y'all panic? Did y'all parents panic? Who panicked? You heard? Let me know down in the comments. Follow on my social media. Everything is up top. You heard? Thank y'all for popping out. If y'all want me to react to anything similar or different than this, let me know down in the comments as well. I got y'all. Follow all of my other accounts. If y'all haven't seen my last video, go check it out. About to go shoot another one right now, you heard? So I'm going to see y'all there. Peace. Love. Dawn.